Here's why you need to start talking about the good things. So a new practice that I've been implementing is talking more intentionally about the positive things that are happening and trying to avoid the negative, talk about the negative things that are happening in my life. If something is negative or dramatic or any of that nature, it doesn't actually improve our situation, or it doesn't actually help the problem. It was something that I noticed, and every time we talked about bad news, every time we brought up something like negative, whether it was like gossip, complaining, or repeating something that was negative, it made us feel worse afterwards. I'm sure you guys noticed this as well when you're talking about like having like a negative conversation. And I started asking myself the question before I spoke, does saying this actually help anyone? And most of the time the answer was no. So this video isn't about being positive all the time. It's just about being intentional with what you spread. Now, what bad news is complaining about someone who isn't there, repeating drama that doesn't involve you, retelling something that, something terrible that happened that is interesting, or leading the conversation with what's wrong instead of what's actually meaningful. And here's the key thing, right? Bad news isn't defined by how serious it is. It's defined by the value that it adds to the conversation. If talking about it doesn't help you process or solve or grow, it's just noise. It's useless. It's completely useless. Now, the reason this is hard and the reason why we're not bad people is because spreading negativity is socially acceptable. It's part of the social norm. Everybody talks, right? Everybody knows that. And it shifts the attention away from us and it shifts it to someone else, so we feel included and the spotlight isn't on us, because we as a species, we want to fit in. We're a tribe, right? We're a community, right? And we don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. So the attention is shifted onto something else. That is why complaining is like bonding, gossip is like connection, and that is why we're so drawn to talking about negative things, because it gives us this false sense of connection with someone, because it's so easy to relate to it. It's a really weird like reward system. Basically, bad news gets a reaction from someone. That reaction gives you attention, and because you got that attention, you get validation, which sparks your dopamine. So it's not good. And sometimes it makes us feel informed, like we're connected, right? When we talk about bad news, like, oh, did you hear about this? Oh, did you know this person did this? Oh, no. But most of the time, we're not sharing to help, we're sharing to release, right? And the problem is when you release negativity outward without processing it properly, you just multiply it. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? When you stop talking about negative things unnecessarily, two things happen. One, your mind is clearer, right? You're not clouded by these negative thoughts because you're not giving them attention, and you're not constantly replaying these problems in your mind, right? You're not rehearsing complaints, or you're not rehearsing disasters that are gonna happen, and you're not emotionally re-entering into those situations. So you're basically letting go of them and you're letting your mind process them. And your baseline overall just becomes calmer. Like you'll notice you'll have a much calmer energy when you don't chase talking about negative things. But you're not letting your peace be disrupted by it. Now, the second thing that also happens is how it affects others. So when you're not talking about negativity and you remain positive, people are actually drawn to you. People feel different around you, and conversations feel lighter. People can feel like they can trust you more, and people won't talk bad in front of you as well, because there's less drama following you, right? So you'll be a person that's associated with like clarity and being calm. Without even trying, you'll become likable. Every conversation slightly shifts the emotional state that we're in and the emotional state of the room, which means you're always doing one of two things, right? You're either amplifying the noise or reducing it. Now, you got to remember that you are always part of someone else's environment when you're in a social setting. So when we repeat negativity, even casually, you're contributing to that environment, right? Now, when you choose not to, you become a filter. Not everything passes through you, only the positivity. Now, I'm not saying that bad things don't happen, and we simply shouldn't just avoid them. And everything will be fine. You'll be happy. You still obviously feel the pain. You still acknowledge the problems, and you still deal with it in real life. What I mean by this practice, and what I want you to start imagining, and how you look towards this, is about focusing your energy on things that matter and things that actually make an improvement to your life and others' lives, right? Because constantly thinking about negativity and surrounding your mind with that sort of energy, that's all you're going to think about. And it's not going to fix your problems anyway. So there's literally no point. Now, how can you actually apply this in like a real world setting? Now, before you speak in a conversation, just ask yourself this: does this help? Does this actually solve anything? Does this bring clarity? Some simple rules that I actually use is talk about like your lessons. Talk about something hard that you accomplished, as opposed to like complaining about it. So here's an example, right? Like you're playing golf, right? And it took you 20 hits to get into the hole, right? Like terrible performance. Instead of saying like, oh, I suck at golf, like I hate golf, I can't get it in the hole, like I'm so bad at it. Just tell them that like after 20 tries, you finally got it in. So reframe. You can still talk about negative things that happen in your life, but just reframe how you're saying the problem. Do you see how like that second part was less negative, but you still talked about the same thing? That's what you need to do. Here's the thing that I keep coming back to. You become known for what you consistently speak about. It's not what you believe. It's not what you intend. It's what you repeat. So if you're the type of person that constantly complains about other people or constantly gossips, people will know you for that. People will know you as the gossip. This is what I want you to do. Pay attention this week about what you talk about in conversation. Is it mainly positive? Is it mainly negative? If you see any negative conversations that you bring up, that you're initiating, catch yourself and think to yourself, does this actually add anything? Does this actually help the person that I'm speaking to? Right? And once you start doing this, you will feel a lot lighter, and you will notice that you will be just happier, to be honest. When you catch yourself, just pause and sit with it.